Welcome to Beyond Overeating by Wholesome Lifestyle Project, the Overeating podcast, where I'll be showing up weekly to share with you what I've learned during my binge eating recovery, helpful tools such as yoga, mindfulness, and energy medicine. My name is Stell, and my purpose is to inform and educate so that you can fast track your recovery in healing your relationship with food and finally trust yourself around the peanut butter jar. Join me as I share top tips, my struggles and triumphs to help inspire or just entertain. Remember, there's nothing wrong with you if you can't stop overeating. That's why I'm here to guide you along the way. Hey, Stel Heath here, host of the Beyond Overeating podcast by Wholesome Lifestyle Project. I'm super excited to be back here, and I am just so fired up in creating a society where women no longer feel shame for their bodies, and little girls don't feel like they need to change themselves or go on ridiculous diets and buy into this obsessive weight loss society that we have created in 2021. And I just got so fired up about this last week. And I can't wait to just start debunking some of these myths and really help you understand why we are trying to fix things that's just never going to work with the solution we're trying to implement. It's almost like sticking a square pole into a round hole. It's never gonna work. So let's talk about the diet industry and just how it kind of tells us that we need to look a certain size. It tells us we need to eat certain things. It tells us that we need to exercise or over exercise. And the reasoning is that if you lose weight, if you are a certain size, then you will be happy. Now, I have definitely, from my work with a woman in my food freedom program, as well as my brand new program coming up, which I haven't even announced yet. Um, it's what I've seen from working with women, even through my own recovery, is that the unhappiness or the stress that maybe added a little bit of extra body fat or padding onto our bodies in the first place was there. The unhappiness or whatever we felt was there already. No amount of weight loss, no amount of changing your shape or form is going to change that. We need to get to the bottom of what that is. So I've been delving deep into further studies, and I'm currently studying further on tools and techniques that could help with the unconscious mind, as well as, just the layers beneath all our way of being. Now, in episode 10, I spoke about the food zombies and the food zombie brain. And if you haven't listened to that episode, go back to episode 3 as well, where I just start talking about the reasons why we binge. And that's really going to just give you a little bit of a background. But if we had to summarize just a little bit, the reason why we binge is because we have an urge to binge. And the urge comes from our unconscious mind, actually. And the unconscious mind is governed by our hypothalamus, which is a survival mechanism of the brain. Now, urges are triggered by 3 different main reasons that I've seen through my work with women and their struggles with eating disorders, and those are hunger, emotion, and habit. So, if we had to look at just a model, if you will, around our levels of consciousness, we have 3 different layers of consciousness. The first layer is our conscious mind, and if you to imagine an iceberg, So Sigmund Freud um, put together this beautiful, well-known iceberg analogy, and it's really been helpful for me to kind of explain um, our different layers. So right at the top of the tip of the iceberg, we have our conscious layer. This is where we have our thoughts and mostly our perceptions. And this is where we sit in our thought layer when we feel like we're not good enough the way we are. We perceive that we need to lose weight or change something about our bodies drastically to actually feel accepted. However, if we had to look below the iceberg, or below the water surface, we have our subconscious mind. And this is where we have our memory and knowledge stored. So when we have these thoughts or perceptions that our bodies are not good enough or we're not worthy because of the way we look, our minds go into the memory bank, and it draws on either memories of us feeling shame for our bodies or industry knowledge that has said, well, yeah, you see, you are not disciplined or you are addicted to sugar. All that kind of false knowledge that we've built up and banked over the years. And that kind of solidifies our thoughts. So that's how we keep thinking these thoughts, and it's kind of substantiated and validated by our memory and knowledge. Then, if we go a little bit deeper down into the deep, dark ocean, right underneath at the bottom of the iceberg is our unconscious mind. And here is where our instinct sits, our motives, our fears, our beliefs, our urges, and our longings. So now that I've explained that, you can see that our thought process starts activating and feeding deeper into our memory, or it gets validated by our memory base or our knowledge. And then it actually goes and infiltrates our beliefs. And this is where the urges sit as well. So we might have this thought that today I'm just going to eat very little food because I'm trying to just get back on track from a binge episode. Then a memory will pop up about how we felt completely mortified about being in a bikini last year, and we know that we have a bikini event coming up where we might be going to the beach or on holiday, and all of a sudden that feeds a belief that we need to be skinny, we need to look beautiful in that bikini to be worthy, for example. And what that does is that then drives the urge for us to stay motivated on our eating plan. And when we stay motivated on our eating plan, we start creating hunger in the body. And that's when we create another urge in the body, which is obviously the urge to eat. And that urge is in the unconscious mind. It's uncontrolled. It's going to create different thoughts, different feelings, different sensations in the body until it actually gets what it wants. This is where our habits sit, is in the unconscious mind. So understanding this really brings into perspective, and I'll put a picture in the show notes. This just really puts into perspective how our different layers of consciousness perceives our bodies and perceives our eating issues. Now, what happens is we have these thoughts and these perceptions that we need to change our body. And this is all on the surface level. So the diet industry then says, well, yes, if you diet, if you exercise excessively, and you are going to start seeing results. So diets and exercise only work on the surface level together with our thoughts and our perceptions. However, the truth that lies underneath the water in our deepest, darkest parts of our oceans is our low self-esteem, our perfectionisms, maybe depression, anxieties, past emotional wounds like trauma, um, and all these kind of things that keep us where we are. So if you had to look at it this way, when are we trying to surface level? Unfortunately, things deep down are not affected. And we're not going to get down to the subconscious. And this is where, many of the diets out there go, well, it's not a diet, it's a mindset change. The mindset change is just working on the thoughts at the surface. It's not getting down into the beliefs. It's not getting down into the wounds of why we are here in the first place. So in order for us to start healing, we need to go deep below the surface. And that's where life is scary. And that's why many people take so many years before they actually look for help, because underneath the surface is really dark. It's really scary. There's things that we have buried deep down into the unconscious mind. We would rather forget about it. We would rather binge, to be honest, than actually face what's down there. So I understand this, and I had to do a lot of uncovering of what's beneath the surface and what really drives this behavior. And it's only from that space when we start changing our beliefs, when we start working on our self-esteem, when we start working on the depression and anxiety that might be causing us to overeat, or the stress factors, that is when we can actually move forward and move into healing. So I think the biggest takeaway from this is really start questioning when you hear the diet industry encouraging you to lose weight. If you see that thinspiration, or like really start seeing that for what it is. And what it is a surface level fix, which is not going to get you to the real issues. It's not going to get you to real healing. Now, that's great to start recognizing that. The second step is to reach out for help, because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be going down into deep, dark surfaces all by myself, especially if those deep, dark corners are going to be spaces of things that we put away and hid away for a reason. So when we ask for help, we actually allow someone who's either been through the process, or who has been trained in helping other people move through these situations. You first of all have this person that's next to you who's been through the experience, or who's been through the knowledge and know-how on how to move people through it. Second of all, they have definitely found a path back to the surface. They were able to start healing these old wounds, and from that, they are able to lead and guide you in a safe, protected manner through that process. Now, when I start working with my clients, I don't just go dive deep down in those darkest holes straight away, because I know that is way too scary. So we start with like really small, simple, actionable steps for them to get there. And what's amazing about that is the minute we go slowly and we able to work deeper and deeper every single week, that is when we really start seeing progress, and we can challenge those beliefs, we can challenge those habits, and we can actually heal emotional wounds, heal the relationship with food, and move forward. So if you today feel like this has just made so much sense. I'd love for you to just come and leave me a comment either in the show notes or leave me a review on wherever you're listening to this podcast. I would also love for you to come and support me on a mission that I am currently on. At the end of May 2021, I'm doing something crazy. I'm putting my running skills to some good use. Now, I actually used to run to change my body, and I've obsessively run just to be thin. It was completely selfish and self-centered, and I have had this opportunity to kind of shift that perspective. And end of May, I will be doing a fundraiser for Make a Wish Foundation, which actually helps young children with disabilities just have a wish, like something that they might never ever get in their lives. And this foundation actually makes that possible. So I'd love for you to come and support me on that mission. I'm raising 15 or helping to raise $15,000 for this charity. And we're doing that by actually running. And I am running a 48-hour race, if you will, where every 4 hours we run 4 miles or 6.4 kilometers. It starts at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and every 4 hours from then onwards, we'll be running for 48 hours. So I am looking forward to the challenge. I am not as marathon fit as I used to be, but I am excited to give it a try and give it my best. So I'll put the link for that in the show notes. If you want to support me, just donate, even if it's just $5 worth a cup of coffee. That's going to go a long way to help these beautiful kids just thrive and get an experience of a lifetime. I also have one final announcement, which is I'm launching a new program towards the beginning of May. And this is really to help mindfully nurture yourself and rewire your brain and finally help you just build some real tools and techniques that's going to help you be mindful around your urges, be mindful around your conscious and unconscious ways of being, and help you move forward to end your emotional eating or comfort eating. So if you'd like to sign up to the wait list for that, I will post that in the comments. Keep a listen out for the next couple of weeks when I announce the program and what it will all entail. I'm super excited about that. This is something that I'm just really passionate about. So yeah, I can't wait to share that with you. I hope this episode has been valuable. Share this with a friend if you think they need this. And I can't wait to see you next week in our next episode. Have a beautiful day, lovely. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget to share this with all your friends. You can do this by adding this to your Instagram story and tagging me at Wholesome Lifestyle Project, or by simply telling them about it. If you could rate and review on whatever platform you are listening, this will go a long way in helping me get this podcast out there so that I can share my message and help as many women out there struggling with food issues as I can. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram on Wholesome Lifestyle Project or connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Estelle Coombe Heath, and that's where you'll find me on LinkedIn. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.